Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video, as you can see, I want to talk about Jada Pinkett and basically the hypocrisy surrounding some of these celebrities' opinions about R. Kelly versus how things are in their life. So first, let's go ahead with the clip that set off her opinion on R. Kelly after watching Surviving R. Kelly, according to her.
So I got this morning about how R. Kelly's music sales and his streams have spiked substantially since the release of Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. And I'm having a really difficult time understanding why. But I think it's important that I understand why. I really would like for you guys to help me understand what I'm missing, even if I'm missing something that I don't necessarily agree with. I just want to understand what I'm missing. So if you could sound off below, that'd be great, and we can continue the conversation Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time on our Facebook Live. And I really don't want to believe that it's because black girls don't matter enough. Or is that the reason? So let me know. Happy Sunday.
Do you like?
You know what I find strange? That people can listen to people like Jada Pinkett say such things and be so perplexed at why people are still supporting R. Kelly or why his streams are going up, as she says. But what about if people gave her the same reaction she's expecting for R. Kelly for her, considering her name has been in quite a few scandals? Even after hosting her Red Table Talk and inviting Lisa Van Allen and her daughter to appear, for her to follow that up with making the formal announcement of how her favorite porn star was Mr. Marcus and she was addicted to porn, I feel like that tells a lot about her true character. One minute you're crying on the show with these alleged victims. You don't take the time to get R. Kelly's side of the story, and then you follow it up with an absurd story. And we're supposed to forget the situation in which your daughter was laid up with an adult man. We're supposed to forget that your son requested to be emancipated at the age of 15. We're supposed to forget all the accusations of cheating and how we see Will Smith living what appears to be a single life even though y'all are married. So how could you blame people for assuming that y'all have an open relationship when you have been parading around with a man half your age and your husband has been doing the same? Meanwhile, you want to ask why R. Kelly's streams were up after such a dramatic piece such as Surviving R. Kelly dropped. So what did you expect? People to just automatically cancel him, stop listening to him just like that? Never mind, this is America and everyone is supposed to be granted their due process and granted a trial in court, not in front of the public. Let's go into why she and so many others ran with this narrative that was put before them.
As a victim of R. Kelly, lifetime surviving R. Kelly should terrify R. Kelly. It wasn't just me. that was young that he liked. An uneasy must-watch. Mental and
Lisa Van Allen, if you go back and do your research on her, just go back and watch some of the videos I've done on her. And just do the math. When she met R. Kelly, she was 18. When she brought her little threesome buddy in, she was 18. And yet, they played this role to make it seem like he was interested in a minor, to give this pattern of behavior for him. Then you got this Lizette, whom a specific bodyguard, whom says they were always around R. Kelly during that time period, never saw. Who, before Surviving R. Kelly aired, was stalking his social media profile, has even been linked to another alleged victim who has been in a couple of sticky situations online, including participating in this Precedence docuseries.
physical abuse. Arguably the most prominent strike against him yet. I felt like a prisoner. It was impossible to look away. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. Surviving R. Kelly. I do see myself as a victim of R. Kelly. Lifetime survival.
It's not hard to imagine why people will be emotionally bothered by this dramatic set of episodes they were subjected to. However, I would only expect someone such as Jada Pinkett, who is in the industry, who has the connections, and who is now venturing in a new field, to do her due diligence. So you would think of mere courtesy in reaching out and trying to get the other side of the story, if she was going to proceed with hosting the show with Lisa Van Allen. Now, as I stated before, I find it very hypocritical that Jada Pinkett would have such a harsh stance on this issue at hand, especially when it comes to dating younger individuals, considering her current scandal in dating August Alsina. Not only was he young and impressionable, she met this boy through her young son. What does it say when your son brings over a visitor and you end up dating him? You needed to make yourself feel better about yourself, so you embark upon a relationship with a guy half your age. Meanwhile, if you were to listen to her point of view on R. Kelly, you would be given the impression she has a problem with people dating others half their age. Doesn't that say something about her character? That even though she's a married woman, she wants to tell us that regardless of what's going on in their situationship, they're not getting a divorce. Yet, we're supposed to not think they're in an open relationship. We're supposed to overlook the fact that if you know of August Alsina, you will know that he has gone through so much illness, so much death in his family. He's had a lot going on in his life. So that would have made him very vulnerable throughout this time period, especially if considering what Jada is saying, he was addicted to pills. Put that on top of everything else he was going on. So her being twice his age, you would think she would have the common sense to know this boy is vulnerable. So if she wants us to look at R. Kelly as a predator based off of surviving R. Kelly, would it be illogical to look at her as a predator considering these new circumstances? And even though they have denied these allegations all this time, it's been very obvious. It's kind of ironic that they end up starting their little courtship, relationship, entanglement, whatever you want to call it, in 2015, same time Azriel and Joycelyn allegedly met R. Kelly. Some people may have forgot that just as Jada Pinkett did with allegations of a strangely close relationship between her and the late Tupac, she has maintained this information is false. According to Alsina, however, Will Smith gave him his blessings with the affair. The whole situation brings many things to mind, considering Pinkett was very vocal in joining in with others bashing R. Kelly for his current dilemma. There's obviously an age gap between Pinkett and Alsina that could lead people to feel the actress took advantage of the singer's weak state of mind, considering over the years he has had all these health scares and personal losses. Pinkett also took it upon herself to interview the least credible person on the cast of the docuseries that led to R. Kelly's criminal investigation. Even more ironic, August was performing at the Opera nightclub the night alleged assault victim Jasmine Elan was assaulted by Dominique Williams. In the time that has passed, many on-site witnesses have given a different side of the story that leaves you to question what really happened. On my site, you will see details about what happened with that case. Because if you go back in my videos, you will come to when I was talking about Jasmine Elan. And at that particular time, I was on her side. And this is the perfect example of how you can't always take a person's story or take a video or take something you see on social media at face value. So in the beginning, I completely believed Jasmine Elan until I started to look at the deception that was beginning to unfold, which I have documented again on my site, primadonnaproductionsllc.com. So it got me to wondering, could this whole scene displayed on social media been a part of a setup all along? Just imagine the story that would have been told had Elan had the chance to get close to August Alsina rather than Dominique Williams. More videos began to surface on the internet along with so many illogical chain of events. Then it's announced Elan planned to sue the Opera nightclub. So to me, I feel like that was the ultimate goal from the beginning. And unfortunately, Dominique Williams became a casualty of war. But I do stand on the one thing that I said in the past, which is, regardless of what went on, when this man heard her saying no and trying to act as though she was resisting or passed out, he should have put her down and walked the fuck away. And this is one of those stories that you might need to teach your son when dealing with a woman at the club. If she starts acting a little out of it, whatever the case may be, walk away. Someone sent me the video that was taken of Jasmine Elan on the stage twerking pretty much with no underwear right after the alleged assault happened. And even after I saw this at the time, I'm thinking, okay, who knows? She said he drugged her, still giving her the benefit of the doubt, right? But again, just a perfect example of how a woman can be sent in or come up with her own mission to come up. Or maybe they're on a mission to make someone jealous. It could be something so simple. But either way it go, you never know the intent of the next person. So as I said, just imagine how that story would have been had she worked her way to August Alsina rather than Dominique. And as I watch all these people talk about R. Kelly's rights being violated, I believe Dominique is still being held with no bond. Same situation as R. Kelly. And he's not a flight risk nor intimidating any witnesses. He's just not the right complexion, I reckon. To top off, the alleged victim reached out to the Me Too movement, and according to her and her attorney, they were ignored. But you know what is interesting? I noticed that people involved with the case against R. Kelly began interacting with attorneys and activists involved in the Elan story, which appears fishy. You have this lady by the name of Casey Fox, who's pictured with Alvanati stating, "Ever wonder what two smiling pit bulls in a booth looks like?" Then you also have this same lady linked to Faith Rogers. Faith Rogers, of course, was represented by Gloria Allred. And you can even see in the photos that Gloria Allred is deeply involved in coaching her clients. Even at the expense of making them look stupid in the media. Such as when she got in front of them talking about this R. Kelly case, holding a photo of these victims and LL Cool J. So, let me get this straight. In rape allegations nowadays, not only do you not have to have evidence of an alleged rape, you don't have to even have a photo of yourself with the person who raped you, allegedly. You could just pull up with a photo of you and some random person, and this is going to be the highlight of what's going to be presented in front of the public to back up your claims of being raped. But at the same time, as I think about it, I was just thinking, is it a coincidence that the she-devil was holding up a photo of these alleged groupies with LL Cool J? Or is it the fact that people may have forgot that LL Cool J was calling out these alleged missing girls from DC? You remember the story when they were saying 14 girls have gone missing in DC in the last 24 hours? Well, according to later reports, those social media threads were over-exaggerated and inaccurate. The confusion illustrates how social media can spread inaccurate or alarming information without full context. It's happened before. After the 2014 shooting of unarmed teen Michael Brown in Ferguson. And I'm not going to get into what they claim the truth is about that particular event is, but the point is that just as R. Kelly stated, anybody with a phone nowadays could put something out there and the media and social media will run wild with it. You had LL Cool J calling out Beyonce, Eminem. He called out TMZ. And just think, according to the updated reports, everybody got all worked up based off of inaccurate information. But it just made me question, was this their way of, in a sense, letting LL Cool J know he might need to zip it? Just like with Nick Cannon in his situation now. It was all cool to be dancing and working with R. Kelly. It was all good to be complicit, as he said, with everything that was going on in the industry. But he just got a great example of how the industry don't give a shit about you as a person. Soon as you do something they don't like, you have got to go. And I find it very much filled with hypocrisy for Nick Cannon to have so greatly jumped on the R. Kelly bashing bandwagon. But as soon as it was brought to him about the alleged relationship between Jay-Z and Foxy Brown, he got real tight-lipped and even accused Dame Dash of trying to get Jay-Z jammed up. His exact words. But again, this is the hypocrisy with all these people. Looks like to me, since they're saying there are enablers, look like to me the whole industry is part of the enablers category. Everybody want to sit here and say, oh, it's okay. Oprah offered Nick Cannon this. P. Diddy offered Nick Cannon that. Well, why would Nick Cannon want to sign a deal or do business with people who are going to do him worse than the masters he's working for now? Makes no damn sense. But anyways, back to the topic. So you have good old Gloria Allred and her clients, Lizette, the Baltimore chicks, the man who found the alleged third sex tape, which conveniently disappeared. Ain't nobody else said nothing else about. And old Faith Rogers, bumpity bump bump. People may have forgotten that Gloria Allred and Michael Avenatti were beefing via social media because he was pretty much stating that her videos weren't authentic, just like his weren't authentic. But anyways, the same attorney representing all four of these characters coming against R. Kelly is the same attorney who was accused of advising Harvey Weinstein accusers to stay silent. It shouldn't take a genius to recognize there's a lot of deception within these stories we hear. Meanwhile, those committing crimes with the right people behind them get by typically with a slap on the wrist. Even you got Gloria Allred, who had her allegations of misconduct, yet we still see she's practicing law using the same extortionist tactics, calling upon the media to try to solicit a settlement between rich men. With all the rumors that have surfaced about Pinkett, the fact that she would run with the side of the story for ratings rather than the truth says a lot about the integrity of Red Table Talk. It's always amazing to see girl power at its best. Yet, when it's based off of lies and deception, who can respect it? Pinkett, a former porn addict, according to her, was so quick to condemn R. Kelly while openly admitting to the fact that Mr. Marcus was her favorite porn star. The same Mr. Marcus who intentionally continued to shoot porn and pass syphilis to his castmates. Maybe, just maybe, had Pinkett taken the time to check out the individuals she welcomed onto her show, she would have raised more realistic questions for Van Allen and her daughter, like how both she and her daughter were basic escorts, and the whole story she tells can easily be debunked. According to Van Allen, images of her daughter across the internet trying to sell herself were photos that were hacked. According to the daughter, it was an ex leaking nudes of her, so she decided she'd beat him first. But at the end of the day, I've saw some of the messages that very well confirms some of these videos they have were live shows. So to say that somebody hacked into her account, that's a lie. It was definitely her daughter soliciting on the internet. But did Jada Pinkett know that or take the time to research the people she was bringing in front of the public eye? No. Did she stop and find out that the person she brought on her Red Table Talk was not a credible witness in the first trial, which is why he was acquitted? No. If you ask me, just like TMZ, Red Table Talk, Lifetime, all the above should be canceled. All of these hypocrites we should stop feeding into. Without the ratings, without the views, these people become irrelevant. What do you think about this whole Jada Pinkett scandal and her views against R. Kelly, as well as other artists who have spoken against R. Kelly, including those like 50 Cent, who, if you recall, some of you may recall, 50 Cent going out of his way to embarrass R. Kelly because he thought R. Kelly was going to bring Ja Rule on stage with him at a benefit or a concert. So he took the point to take a jab at him. And it was funny when Spotify removed him from the playlist, he was one of the first to say something about it. I kind of find it hard to understand what to think about these celebrities. Of course, I wouldn't want any of them to speak for me. But when they have been involved in this industry for so long and have witnessed so much, you would think, regardless of how they have to deliver the message, they would speak up and put an end to the enslavement they all speak of. Just a thought. Do you feel like Jada Pinkett preyed on August Alsina? Do you feel like, just like these women do, they hop into certain entanglements in order to have publicity? Because as we can see, August Alsina wasted no time coming out with a song called Entanglement featuring Rick Ross. And while I'm here talking about a song, I wanted to take this second as I close this video out, because I know at one point in time people were saying there was a song out with R. Kelly and Azriel, but I just wanted to point out to you all that is a lie. Now, according to people, this song was supposed to be Azriel Clary, and it was supposed to be produced by R. Kelly. Title, Don't Wanna Wait, and they put Kelly R. The real singer's name is, let me see, Kelly Rodriguez. But anywho, as I said, we waited for this moment, and baby, you got me wide open. It was a nice try, but that is not Azriel.
Was never the way I planned, not my intention. I got so brave behind your hair, lost my discretion. It's not what I'm used to, just what is with you now. I'm curious for you, caught my attention. I sniffed the girl and I liked it, the taste of her loyal shampoo. I sniffed the girl just to try it. I hope my voters don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Don't mean that I'm free tonight. I sniffed the girl and I liked it. I liked it. No, I don't even know your age. It doesn't matter. You're my experimental game. Just human nature. It's not what old men do, not how they should behave. My head gets so confused, hard to obey. I sniffed the girl and I liked it, the taste of her loyal shampoo. I sniffed the girl just to try it. I hope my voters don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Don't mean that I'm a queen tonight. I sniffed the girl and I liked it. I liked it. Girls, you are so magical. Soft taste, smooth touch, so sniffable. Hard to please, so touchable. Too good to deny.
It's strange the things that people see and don't see. But clearly, people like me, we see past the bullshit. You can't sit here and say you don't believe these girls in this docuseries, but you don't see anything wrong with him being prosecuted based off of the lies told in the docuseries just because of your own personal dislike for him, for information you've never verified for yourself, information you've probably just read in a magazine, heard on the news being regurgitated from those working against the man. At the end of the day, the fact that these so-called black platforms didn't even give the man the opportunity to really defend himself. It should have been clear the CBS interview with Gayle King definitely was not for his advantage. And you could tell this very fact by the way, right after that interview, they had people ready, body language experts, all these people ready to pick this interview apart. And again, not listen to the things he's informing you during the interview, but to twist it in a way to fit their bullshit narratives. Drop your comments below, because I want to know, do y'all see the hypocrisy that I see? From everybody, from T.I., Snoop Dogg. It's so many. You could go down the list. But I specifically wanted to start with Jada Pinkett, considering, as I stated a few minutes ago, how she was so eager to invite the least credible witness of them all to her platform. Is that now a reflection of her credibility? Have a good day, and thank you for supporting this channel. Make sure you like it. Please share it. Have a good day.